It is time to go inside out with our SNY NFL insider, Connor Hughes. Connor, reports surfaced Friday that Darren Moji was getting the GM job, but the team has not made a decision just yet. What can you tell us about this?
Well, I can tell you that I've talked to sources tied to all three of the candidates that have interviewed a second time for the New York Jets, and all three of those sources have told me that they have not been told one way or another whether their candidate has gotten the job, or normally the call that is made before you tell the candidate is getting the job is to the candidates that are not getting the job. From talking to a couple of Jets sources, throughout the majority of the day Friday, Christopher Johnson and Woody Johnson were huddled together, ignoring all the outside noise, trying to determine of those three candidates who is the best person to lead the New York Jets. They know they already have the head coach in Aaron Glenn, but now they need the architect of the roster. And right now, all I can tell you, Nikki, is that they have not made that decision, but it is expected to come soon. In fact, I talked to several sources who expected that early on Friday. That obviously did not happen. So I do expect it to come at some point before Monday when they introduce Aaron Glenn.
All right, so everyone in the dark just as much as we are, but we do know they decided on a head coach. The Jets are set to introduce Aaron Glenn on Monday. There are only so many ways, though, that people can ask him about if Aaron Rodgers is going to be back next year. How do you expect he will handle all of these questions?
I think he's going to be honest. That's everything that we've learned so far about Aaron Glenn. That's why he's so respected by former teammates. That's why he's so respected by former coaches. That's why he's so respected by the players that he coached, is that he shoots everybody straight, and I do expect that to be the case. Now, if he has not met with Aaron Rodgers or spoken with Aaron Rodgers yet, I don't think he's going to come out and tell the media Aaron Rodgers is not coming back next year, or if he says that before he's actually talked to Aaron. But it is a complicated situation, Nikki, because there's the financial aspect of it, where the Jets can get rid of Aaron Rodgers right now for about $49 million. That number escalates to $63 million if they keep him for another year. There's also all the outside noise that sometimes comes with Aaron Rodgers. And when you have a brand new GM, you have a brand new coach, you do usually want to turn the page completely on what has been one of the worst eras and underwhelming eras of Jets football in recent years, considering the expectations that they had. Disappointing, certainly another word that you could use. So a brand new quarterback could be one of the other ways to usher in this new era. We'll see what happens here, but I do expect Glenn to be pretty honest with us all.
Definitely going to be interesting to see whether or not he is the quarterback next season. But meanwhile, despite initially saying no, Liam Cohen changed his mind and accepted the Jaguars' job after they fired Trent Baalke, while the Raiders are reportedly going with Pete Carroll. Connor, what's your take on the Jets going with Aaron Glenn and not even interviewing Super Bowl winning head coach and former Jets coach Pete Carroll?
Yeah, Nikki, it's a cliche, but sometimes it does take two to tango. I mean, I think that's it. In fact, Pete Carroll was one of the guys that I circled right off the bat, knowing what the Jets wanted. They wanted a culture guy. They wanted a guy to reinstill pride within their organization. They wanted a guy that understood the New York market. They wanted a guy with some experience. Well, Pete Carroll has all of those things. He's the ultimate culture guy. He has the experience. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. He actually coached the Jets before, although it didn't go too good before they moved on to him probably a little bit earlier than they should have. But ultimately, did Carroll want to come back to the Jets? Did he want to come all the way to the East Coast? Did he want to dance again with Woody Johnson in this organization? I got the vibe that that wasn't necessarily the case, that this wasn't a situation he was overly interested in. So we waited for the right opportunity, and for him, he thought that was the Raiders.